Dubbo farmer Maurie counts himself as living proof that herbicide resistance in weeds can be countered quickly and effectively through integrated weed management strategies. Mr. Street is a former commercial agronomist and now a researcher with the GRDC-funded Grower Solutions Group, the Grain Arana Alliance. Having preached about herbicide resistance, he decided to put the message into practice on his own farm. By using a combination of windrow burning, crop and herbicide rotation, increased crop competition and improved farm hygiene, Mr. Street has halted the spread of resistant weeds and significantly reduced their impact on his bottom line.
I spent a lot of my time looking at weed management and certainly promoting the value of integrated weed management, and I could also see that herbicide resistance was going to be one of our biggest challenges in farming going forward. So when we bought this place 6 years ago, it was a really good opportunity to put some of those techniques and recommendations and ideas into practice and see whether they work.
Before he began implementing strategies to combat herbicide resistance, patches of his property were suffering yield penalties of 20 to 30% due to the impact of weeds. After trialling a variety of techniques, he has found that positive results from integrated weed management appeared almost as quickly as the emergence of herbicide resistance itself.
One of the more recent things I have been doing over the last 3 seasons is actually windrow burning, whereby when we come to harvest time, we're actually taking the crop off quite low and concentrating the weed seeds or all the chaff fraction, the trash fraction from the header, concentrating in narrow rows that we burn at a later date. Seen plenty of potential out of it, lots of benefits of it, but it's by no means a standalone tool either.
Mr. Street is now a WeedSmart champion, a cross-industry initiative which promotes examples of best practice in the area of herbicide resistance. And although he only crops 160 hectares of canola, wheat, barley and lupins, Mr. Street firmly believes that WeedSmart principles can be applied to farming systems of all sizes. Part of his approach has been increasing crop competition, which has been shown to reduce weed seed set by up to 80%. As can be seen here by the difference in weed size, the increased competition reduces the number of weeds which sprout, as well as limits their ability to tiller and multiply.
So this year I've actually nearly doubled my sowing rate from a traditional 45 kilos per hectare. We've increased that up to around about 75 to 80 kilos. The other thing that I have done is, and may continue to do so going forward, is we have delayed sowing in some patches or paddocks to ensure that we get a really good knockdown on our weeds, so it takes some of the pressure off those in-crop herbicides.
Mr. Street believes that if he had continued to do nothing about herbicide resistance, the problem patches that he had first seen 6 years ago would now be a write-off. He has now stopped their spread, and while the process has had its challenges, he says it's been worth it.
We've always paid for weed control. Traditionally, we've just gone into town and brought a drum of chemical and brought it home and sprayed it. And when I look at the system now, we're just paying for our weed control in a different way. Everything comes at a cost, but I guess I just look at it in terms of the farming system, and it's not just a case of profitability, it's a case of sustainability these days.